And good evening, everyone. Welcome to another. I go for just drew a blank. Welcome to Unscripted and Unchained RPG Review, otherwise known as the OSR tabletop. When I do these live streams, just drew a blank. I was so concentrated on how many seconds do I have to time hitting the start button and for it to actually start. And so here we are. So I decided about a week ago or so, that I was going to do some giveaways as the channel started to hit these milestones leading up to 3,500, and so I basically broke it down to I was going to do something at 3,200 and then 3,350, or maybe I'll do like 3,333. Once I hit 3,333, then I'll do another giveaway, and then finally at 3,500. So just giving back to my subscribers, my people coming in. I had done a giveaway about 2 months ago once I hit 3,000. And so the channel has certainly been growing much more rapidly since then. So I gave away some hardcover books out last time. So I gave away some Castles and Crusades books, as well as a Mifrog book that I had laying around, a core rule book for that. And we'll be doing some more of that this evening based on the levels of super chats that come in. So if I get some super chats, depending on the levels that I hit, then I'll be able to send these things out on those basic levels. Also wanted to leave this open tonight for basically an open community topic discussion, and if you don't have anything that's really coming up, I do have a controversial issue that came up these last 2 weeks or so on mostly with video game industry issues, but I think it does have a certain amount of either correlation or even bleed through to the tabletop hobby as well. So I'm certainly going to get into that. And let's get right into the comments and say hello, O'Neill. Good to see you. Happy Saturday. Hope you're enjoying your weekend. How does one give away super chats? So the last time I did this, I at the $25 level, I gave out one item, and then later on there was more that once I hit a different level, then sent out another one. These are items that I have extra in my in my collection, or just trying to make room in the collection and such. So certainly not really making any money on these things. They cost about between $5 and $8 to ship, and many of these items I bought on eBay or whatever over the years, and so they typically had a cost around what I'm looking to kind of break even on, or in some cases just get rid of stuff. So that's basically how it works, Al, is that if I do hit those levels, then it kind of offsets sending this stuff out. That's all I'm really looking to do. So let's see. Also, make sure you do not give away anything to anyone in Ontario, Canada. Well, shipping and handling for that purpose will, kind of be prohibitive in that. But again, if I can ship there and it's not ridiculous, then fine. But if it's going to be too costly, then yeah, I will have to limit it to continental United States. I don't know if there's anything more restrictive, like if Hawaii is suddenly a much more expensive shipping. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I try to give enough cushion where even if the shipping is like $10 for a $20 item, then I think I'm okay with that. Anyway, the Savage Splendor, hello, welcome, and awesome to hear. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, the channel has certainly been growing. I think algorithmically, when you hit certain levels, it does go up, pretty high. So, the pickup rate of it goes a lot faster. Good afternoon or evening, Guillermo, and congratulations on, yeah, well, 3,000 now 3,200. So yeah, approaching that 3,500, which is the next milestone on the YouTube, like algorithm, not algorithm, but there's like a system where they do acknowledgments. What's it called? TubeBuddy. TubeBuddy does. So my next benchmark is really 3,500, but I wanted to break it down and do a little bit more, giving back some more that I can. Wait, where's my hat? My hat is over there. You want my hat? I can put my hat on. So there is my hat. All right, now I'm the man in black. All right, so as a matter of fact, when I went to the Pennsylvania, what was it, the Philadelphia Game Expo, it just so happened that everybody's sitting in the audience in this one particular picture. Almost all of us were wearing black, and I was sitting right in the front row with with my black hat on as well. And someone had commented, I didn't realize that there was a dress code for this thing. So yeah, it's the, all black today. Ontario giveaways are illegal or something. Yeah, so I live in the United States. So what are they going to do? I don't plan on going to Ontario anytime in my lifetime. So I should be good. Even less chance of going to Ottawa. Hey, Cal, how's it going? So let's see. No, don't be. Don't be. It was so rapid between 3,000 and 3,200 that I'm really quite surprised. Wearing the hat is your iconic look. Yeah, I've been actually criticized for it, from time to time, and but the point is that this is something that I generally wear anyway, and so it's not just for the channel or whatever, but yeah, it's something I wear on a fairly regular basis, regardless. It really is the only hat that I actually wear for the most part. You just look short without that. That wasn't looking normal for you. Okay. I'm still that. I think I'm shrinking though as I'm getting older. But I used to be 5'7" and something, and now I'm like barely 5'7". So I guess age is shrinking me. Let's see. Hail and well met. Hey, Mercurius. How's it going? Good to see you again. And Mercurius was one of my previous winners. So, so he got, I believe he got a Castles and Crusades book the last time around. I forget which one he got. We meet again. Yes. Yes. Generally, there isn't really a stream I'm in without my Cubs hat on. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just a, it's, and it probably happened with you very organically too. It wasn't like something like, let me see, what am I going to dress up as, or how am I going to dress for this live stream? It just happened to be what it became. So, Tandemar, welcome. Howdy all, prepping for my D&D game for tomorrow while I listen. Congrats on 3200 and congrats on prepping your game. I know I just played in the very first session. It was called session 1/2. It wasn't quite a 0. We did do a little bit of play after everyone created their characters, but it's a D&D BECME, enhanced a little bit with some stuff from the rules cyclopedia, from a former player of mine and a former dungeon master of mine. He is dungeon mastering again, Ivan, from Dragon Dreams. So he has his own game system out there, but he's running this really, really good DM. I enjoy sitting in on his games. And so when he said, hey, I'm looking to run a new D&D campaign starting on Saturdays, I was like, damn, I'm down for it. I don't get enough opportunities to play as a player. I'm in a bi-weekly Castles and Crusades. But the rest of the time I'm always running something, and so it's nice to get back in the player seat and stretch my role-playing muscles a little bit, while I'm at it. So what do I think about Dragonbane from Free League? At the time that it came out, I almost backed it, and then I hear many, many good things about it, and I have so many OSR systems that I started getting a little bit more selective with them, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait until something really stands out in the OSR field before I back it. If you've been following my channel, you'll see that I have quite a varied taste in games, and so I just picked up Dune from Modiphius, and I'm looking to actually really dig into that and actually run it at a convention. I have now 8 or 9 games this year that I'm looking to run at conventions or at my own table, and so I'm going to take a slight step back from OSR, D&D retro clones or whatever. Like I said, until something comes out that's truly unique or like a must-have. But I hear great things about it. And Free League does a phenomenal job, just like Modiphius with most of their titles. I think Star Trek kind of was not a strong setting and strong approach for them. But it certainly looks like they bounced back with Dune. So that's a really, really good pairing of the 2D20 system and an IP. I think they work well together. So looking forward to digging into that. But yeah, Dragonbane is like right up there. And I know I passed up Dragon Slayers as well. Greg Gillespie's Dragon Slayers for the same reason, basically. I started questioning whether or not I really need this thing. And but I did pick up oh my gosh, Crown and Skull. All right, so that's Runehammer's thing because it's a completely different system, and that's why I backed it. So, but anyway, Eater of the World 78. Congratulations. Well, thank you very much, and thanks for stopping in. Let's see. Men just grab the closest thing to put on. Only women do cosplay to get ready for streams. Yeah. And sometimes that's their whole thing is just the cosplay of it too. Yep. Thank you, Marion Silvio Lordash. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, but welcome. I've never seen your name here before, so certainly welcome and nice to have you here. And thank you for your Thanks and well wishes. You can't play other games. You have to play other games. I mean, it's just to play just one game, and I don't care what game it is. If you are only playing one tabletop role playing game, you are severely inhibiting your your growth, your mastery, your just your exposure to everything that the hobby has to offer. It's like only liking one genre of literature. I don't know how you can just sit there and say, I'm only going to read science fiction. There's some brilliant science fiction out there, but how do you just tie into just one thing? Um, I don't see how you can just play one game system. Doing it uses the 2D20 system. Yes, it does. I never got into the Doom books. Yeah, the Doom books are, I've only listened to the first one. So I got it on audio and everything, and I enjoyed it. And I liked the 1984 movie, and I really liked the two more recent movie, 21 and now part two that had just come out, and really enjoyed them. I was like, wow, this is a very, very strong movie. I mean, it's certainly worth going to the movie theater and paying the 15-20 or whatever it was to see it, and it's certainly something that I will pick up on Blu-ray when it comes out. Love to have it in my library, and that way I can go back and rewatch it again when it does come out to that. So hopefully it does well this weekend, and I certainly expect that it will. Great movie. And it's the big reason why I grabbed the RPG, because I can see that the way that Modifius is marketing, because they have a new campaign book coming out, which I'm quite surprised it's not out right now, because it should come out right now along with the movie, and that's looking pretty cool. That's looking like they are coming out with something, so they're showing that they still have the support of the IP moving forward, and and that should be fine for both the IP holder of the of the property overall, and Modifius as well. Too many OSR games. Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, I need something that really does stand out, and then I'll back it or pick it up. Let's see. Crown and Skull is the next on my list. Yeah, I picked it up. I'm doing a series on it. I have to get back to doing some more videos on it, and I got the $80 version of it. So I got the gold version of it, and absolutely love the book. It comes with the PDFs, so and then shipping and handling was like $10, so it was $90 for me, and absolutely worth it. What really surprised me with Crown and Skull was it didn't just come with a PDF. It came with a whole slew of other things along with it, in its zip files and everything like that. It came with music that that you can play while running it, which I've never seen anyone do that before. And it came with the clip art and the tokens and everything like that for it as well. So I mean, as far as packaging is concerned, just phenomenal, and so innovative and unique. Like I said, I've never seen a tabletop role playing game come out with MIDI files to play during your game sessions that you can then just upload right into whatever virtual tabletop that you're using. So absolutely phenomenal. Let's see, looking for new voices. Exploded boy always dresses up as a butt pirate. Yeah. Um, I virtually have no interaction with that guy anymore. But TM, I live in Australia, so I'll never ask for anything posted to me. Never, I've never received any Castles and Crusades book. I, hmm, maybe it wasn't. Was it? I have to double check. Um, maybe you didn't win that. I thought you did. I'll double check. Um, back to heroic on backer kit. Looking forward to that. I don't know what heroic is, O'Neill. Oh, now you got me thinking. I have to take a look at it. Let's see. Yeah, now they're going for Marvel. I have the Marvel. I have the new Marvel RPG, and it's not bad. I mean, it's a pretty decent system. I don't. I have not seen it played in the wild yet, though. And when I say that, I mean like, I'll go on to Roll20 and see if anyone's running it, and you get like the same two or three people that are charging $20 a session, or more. I mean, I saw one guy was like $30 an hour, and you're running a 3 hour, so you're gonna have to pay $100 to sit through a 3 hour session with him. And it's like, I'm like, that's the only ones that you actually see running some of these game systems, is they're professional game masters, and they charge you, a ridiculous amount per hour just to play in them. It's like, if I had four people approach me and say, "Hey, will you run this game that I actually already own?" Online, I'll run it. One shot, a limited series, or even a long campaign. I would never charge anyone. I mean, all the power to them if they, wish to do that. But I would never charge anyone to do something that I absolutely love doing. Yeah, I don't get that. I don't get why people would pay that. Why they think that they have to. Um, just weird to me. No, it's made by Disney. Marvel is the Marvel RPG is made by Marvel, so they own it. Let's see. Did you ever go back and try the game again without putting all the swords away that you need to for the spells? Did you complete the level? What was your rating of the game? Of the, I are we going back to? We're talking about the Marvel. I haven't run the Marvel game. Just read through, the various sections of it and everything. It seems like a decent, a decent game. I just don't see anybody running it. I'd like to play in it before I actually look to run it, and I just don't see that anyone's actually running it other than those two or three people. I have not seen it at any of the conventions being run. I mean, I'll double check again, but just doesn't come up. O'Neill, it depends on yeah, who owns FastRip. So are you talking about the FastRip system, or are you talking about the new Marvel game? Okay. Yes, I mean, let me know. I have to double check and see who was I could have sworn you were one of my winners, but maybe you weren't. Um, it's Bear the new game. All right, I'll take a look at it, Cal. Well, it's the biggest place to look for things, and it's almost impossible to find things on Foundry. They have the worst interface to see what games are available on Foundry. Oh, okay. Thank you, El. All right. That I was unsure on. I didn't know um what you're talking about. So I'm just not familiar with Heroic, so I'll definitely check it out. The video game before Albion. All right, I'll double check that too. Um, it's on backer kit. Heroic uses fast rep. Okay, Disney doesn't own fast rep system L, so don't worry about it. Okay, yeah, they cannot. No game system is copyrighted. They cannot copyright game systems. So you can adopt the game system and use it as your own. I think all you are required to do is change something like 10% of it. So as long as you alter 10% of it, you are free and clear. And this isn't even an OGL thing, although it kind of spurred out of the OGL. Um, it's just the courts had stated that you cannot trademark or copyright game mechanics. It's like trying to copyright math. It's like a mathematical equation. It automatically belongs to everyone once it's created. Okay. All right. So let's see. I was going to talk. So again, this is a giveaway stream. So super chats. If we hit $25, I'll give away some of the first items. Anything higher than that, we hit $50 or $60. There'll be another level, and so on and so forth. And if not, I'll just wait until 3,500 and give out, or 3333. Once I get the 3333, I'll try it again. But let's see. You can copyright game system, just not game rules. I'm talking about the same thing, Al. Otherwise, D&D wouldn't be copyrighted. No, D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, is copyright. The mechanics behind it, attribute scores, those kinds of things. Those are game mechanics or game rules. Those can't be copyrighted. It's only $50 for POD plus PDF. All right, not bad. Less for just the PDF. All right, I'll double check it out. I will see. So let's see, what else was I going to bring up? So this was the one I was going to bring up as far as a topic. And let's see where. Thank you, Mercurius. So how does Sweet Baby Inc. controversy relate to the tabletop role-playing hobby? So if you're not familiar, Sweet Baby Inc. is one of those consultant firms, right? And so obviously they're going to, they approach, and quite frankly, I think they leverage or even blackmail video game designers and say, hey, you know what, we're going to come in and we're going to take a look at what you're doing, and this is what you should put into your game, and this is what you need to take out. And if you don't listen to us, we're going to send it won't go well for you. We'll send our horde at you on social media, and you'll be declared misogynist, Nazis, or whatever they're going to do. And so and then a stream community, all right, basically was called Sweet Baby Inc. Detected kind of thing, and they started putting up a list of games that they have that they had approached, worked on, or influenced, or threatened, or whatever. And so they made this kind of very similar to like what the RPG pundit did on on his chat message board, where he put up the the green, the yellow, and the red list of tabletop game companies that are you know either good to work with, good to buy from. Then there was the neutrals, they're kind of a little touch and go, and then finally the red zone was, these are the woke, do not buy from them because they hate you kind of crowd. And so Sweet Baby Inc. kind of found itself in that kind of a listing now, where they weren't just saying, this is the only company out there for doing it, but these are the games that they worked on. So let's see. They worked on Dark Alliance video game and promoted WotC to change drow, etc. in the language. All right, and then let's see what else we have here. Sweet Baby, our protection racket. Nice game you got there. Shame if someone said you were racist. Yeah, I mean, exactly. Yeah. And let me thank the super chats coming in. So as always, Mercurius, thank you very much. And Diversity and Dragons, hey, how's it going? I got to check out. I'm pretty sure you'll probably get around to it if you haven't done it already and talked about Sweet Baby Inc. So I'll definitely look at your channel and see what you had to say about it as well, because it just is it's just something I know that you right up your alley to talk about as well. These are people that I'm glad to see that they're doing this in the video game industry, because the video game industry is absolutely going to jump out and push back. They don't play around with that thing. I mean, the only other community that responds so much quicker and more decisively is like the anime community, where Japan will basically just tell them to fuck off. But they're trying with the video game industry. They would be so much more successful, unfortunately, in the tabletop role playing industry or hobby, because there's just so many companies out there that are either on the same side of the road as they are, or just weaker, just the emotionally and and business wise weaker in their in standing up for their own product. All right, so he what do you call that? He procured the whatever you call that. He has the list on his site. Okay, I know he has a list as well, and I think that they're pretty much on the same line. There's probably very little difference between the two lists. Yeah, it's a protection racket. It's like the way the mafia works or used to work or whatever. It's like approach them and say hey, it'd be pretty bad if your windows got broken, but if you spend $20, then that won't happen. And if they get every storefront on the block does that, they'll be fine. We used to pay when I was at my first school in New York City. This is back in '99, and our mirrors and stuff like that on the car, and the bezels on the light covers and stuff. They were getting stolen constantly. And we we actually went out to the precinct wouldn't do anything about it, the local precinct. And then there was this guy that we used to see in the street all the time, and we started paying him something like everybody paid him like $10 a week, so he was making good money just to make sure that nobody touched our cars on that block. And we said to ourselves, we were like, you know what, this freaking guy is probably working with that guy, but he's now getting, you know, he's now getting, $500 a week from all of the individual teachers, because it was certainly worth the $10 a week, just to make sure that your stuff wasn't getting stolen. Because then the cops would come by and ticket your car for not having a freaking, not having the mirrors on it. That was like the real. It wasn't until that guy actually stripped the mirrors off of the NYPD vehicles that were for school safety, that the 41st precinct finally responded, and then they went and they busted the auto parts store that was about 3 blocks away, and they went in there and they raided it and got all of the stolen goods from there and shut them down, literally shut them completely down. The business got boarded up. And then they started laser etching everything, and that kind of brought that whole thing to an end. But yeah, I mean, it's a protection racket. Yeah, I would rather have Japan made than Watsy. Yeah, um, or China. I wish that story was true. I'd rather see Dungeons and Dragons owned by Tencent than by Wizards of the Coast. Yeah. So yeah, that was the other thing that I was thinking of was, what some other topics and everything. I think that I say out with the wife tonight. I just wanted to say congrats. Well, thank you very much, and enjoy your night with your wife. My wife is out for the weekend. They're at a bridal. They're going to pick up bridesmaids dresses, for my wife's cousin's upcoming October wedding. So I'm completely solo this weekend. So it's nice to be able to do a Saturday night live stream, and I also had a game. So enjoy your night with your wife, and thanks for the super chat. Let's see. So let's get back to our banners. And so some other things that I saw, like this was the one topic that came to mind. I saw that there was a topic about, if you were to give advice to either a brand new DM or a DM that someone who was thinking about becoming a DM for the first time, what would you do, or what would you advise them? And my first response was, you got to gatekeep your table. And I know that would probably throw this guy over the deep end, but he has me blocked anyway. But yeah, absolutely, you have to gatekeep your table. And what that means is that you have to make sure that the people coming to your table are there to play. They're not there to insert themselves into the game world. And, I want to be able to see myself in the world. It's like, no, that's not what we're here for. Or to have some other kind of agenda, at your table other than, hey, I'm here to play. And, one of the things that I got into, someone on Twitter over this too, I was like, because they were they were like, "Hey, look, I'm blocked by I'll say it, I'm blocked by Ginny D, right?" So this guy comes on, and it's someone that we mutually follow each other, and he was like, he says, "I've never had any contact with her whatsoever, and yet I'm blocked by Ginny D," and I was like, "Because she blocks across the board, anybody," and actually. Diversity and Dragons was just here. Maybe he's still here. I mean, he chimed in too. He was like, "Yeah, it was probably because you followed me, or someone else suggested that too." It's like you followed Diversity and Dragons, and so that's probably why you're blocked there. And so that's another issue that you know those are the kinds of people you need to block from your table and gatekeep from your table. I see L threw up here. How about Matt Mercer's depressed millionaire over Gaza thing? You know what? My take on that, is that I don't think that that's why he's depressed. I think that he's deflecting the reason why he's depressed. And I mentioned this on the OGGM's channel as well. All of their live streams, or all of their streaming shows, their viewership are down across the board. In many cases, they're pretty much saying that was it season 3, Hell's Bells, or whatever the hell it's called, is nowhere near what the others were doing, what the other 2 seasons of Critical Role are doing. And Candela Obscura is way, way lower than anything else they're doing. And it's across multiple platforms, right? So it's on Twitch, it's on YouTube, it's on whatever. And I think that's what he's probably more depressed about, is like, hey, we're watching our numbers drop. And, the excuse, which is probably a legitimate excuse, is that, this is not, this is not COVID anymore, so, people are going back out, they're doing other things, they're not sitting and glued to their, to their devices watching, live streams. They might be running their own games, and whatnot. And so it would be so much easier just to say, this is what's, this is the reason why our numbers are lower. But instead, he comes up with some other thing that he's depressed over Gaza. And, personally, I don't mix my gaming with politics at all. And, I really don't care what goes on in the world. I care about the United States. I care about U.S. citizens. I care about, I care about how Americans are doing. And, I really couldn't care less about the rest of the world unless it impacts us in some meaningful way. Then, that's just me. But when I'm at my gaming table, I'm not even thinking about that crap. I'm thinking about, how am I going to get my Call of Cthulhu campaign, back on track, because, I had to, I had some family issues. I don't know, like most of you probably know if you follow me at all. Like 3 weeks ago, my wife's cousin passed away. About 8 days later, my mother passed away, and it was just it was a tough 2.5 weeks. And that's the kind of stuff that gets in the way of me escaping, but once I do escape and I get back into my gaming, I don't try to bring real world into my gaming. I try to keep them, separate. And, that really did throw, those events obviously are going to push off keeping things maintained the way that you normally do. And so just getting back into the swing of things, and, getting back into getting back to the escapism is really what I'm looking to do, just to change my mindset. And so to artificially bring events that are someplace else in the world into your gaming, just doesn't make sense to me. Um, but anyway, so let's see. He could be sad that, but that's really cherry picking. There's other conflicts that have been killing innocent people. Yeah, I mean, it's a Grimjin did a great video on GM advice. Read my comment today and had a good response. Cool. I'll go check that out. You know, Grimjin, I mean, I still follow his stuff, but it's been a little bit of a while because he gets into those long political stretches too, and just really don't like to get bogged down with that kind of stuff. It's called Nami Historical, historical. It was hysterical. Yes, I was like, hey, Ducato, how's it going? Let's see. All right, I'm looking for. Yes, exactly. You know, it's that's why we game. I mean, and it's just to, you know, it's just to get away from real life. That's why it's called escapism. And like I said, sometimes when you have things in your life that happen that you know you really can't escape from, you know, but it's good to get back. Good to get back into the swing of things once everything settles down. So let's see. His vid I mentioned is worth it. Yeah, I'll definitely check it out. Session 33 of CNC campaign was played today. Hey, great. Yeah, I just wrapped up session 11 on my CNC campaign, and like I said, I was running my Call of Cthulhu bi-weekly, and you know, I should have learned by now that running bi-weekly campaigns, especially online, is just, it's not conducive to the campaign staying together and keeping those players together, because as soon as you have a break in it, for whatever reason, like I said, you know, I had literally 2 funerals that interfered with both sessions. So it really put like a 6-week break into that bi-weekly game session. And it's just like, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to reboot the whole campaign. And because we had only done 2 sessions, maybe even just one. Yeah, we just did 1 session of it. And it just hasn't kicked off, you know, since then. We haven't played in like 5 weeks now. So it's just not going to reboot it and just go weekly. I don't think bi-weekly, I don't even know how anybody keeps a monthly game going, especially online. You know, how they keep that campaign long lasting when you're only meeting once a month, because as soon as you miss, then you're 2 months down the road. Like if throws a monkey wrench into things. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely it does. And like I said, I'm not like I'm like a, you know, like a person where it's like, hey, you know what? We were supposed to play Call of Cthulhu this past Friday, and I only have 3 players. One didn't show up. One, his mother-in-law just passed away 2 days prior to, so he was like his wife was getting ready to leave the next morning, so he wasn't quite in the mood. And my other player, he had hurt his knee on the job, and he was in a lot of pain. And I was like, listen, we're just going to reboot this whole thing, and a couple weeks down the road, we will start from scratch and play weekly going forward. But life gets in the way, and that's perfectly fine. Um, I certainly can't. I certainly can wag a finger at anybody when I lost, 2 game sessions, that I didn't show up for. So it is what it is. But anyway, just once a month is all that you get in there. Cal, you're welcome to join my Call of Cthulhu game if you can commit to a weekly. We'll figure out the night for it. It might be a Friday night. I'll see. But if you want to get into something on a weekly basis, just let me know, and I will always save a spot for you to jump right in. We do monthly for CNC, but I run it West Marches style. 1.5 years have not missed a session. Some months we get 2 sessions in. All right. Well, like I said, you're doing it in person and not online. I think it's harder to keep it maintained online. So it's yeah. Is it on Discord? Yeah, I could do a combination of. I can do either Discord. I could do Discord. I could do Zoom. Our D&D session this afternoon, we used Zoom for sound. It was so much better than Discord. And even when he was displaying the various maps and everything like that, I think the combination of Zoom and Roll20 is going to work really well. I'm waiting for some of those other virtual tabletops to come out with a little bit easier accessibility to them. I like Foundry visually, but it's not a great combo. It's not so easy to use. Let's put it that way. You run Discord and Tabletop Simulator. Yeah, that's on Steam, right? Tabletop Simulator. I don't know. I could look into that. I have a bunch that I've actually bought into, and I'm just waiting for their interface just to get easier. I mean, Foundry is not an easy, and you have to support your own. Zoom and Roll20 is how we do our Tuesday night games. Yeah, I like I said, the sound quality on Zoom was phenomenal. And I have a free Zoom account. Well, not a free Zoom account, but I have a paid Zoom account that I use for work. And that's very, I could definitely use that along with Roll20, and I think it'll work fine. Yeah. Yeah. And you know what I love about my group here, my typical people that come into my channel all the time is, here we have a Palladium game. We have somebody talking about Call of Cthulhu, Castles and Crusades, Faster Up earlier on and everything. There's like everyone has got something else going on, and it's just so cool to see how many different people. Certainly those that visit my channel, there's everyone's running everything different, and it's so cool to see. So yeah, and I'm waiting for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to arrive, which I think is supposed to come out. I think they're finishing up in September. I hope it comes out sooner than that, because I have a convention coming up in September that that might have been one of the games that I'd run in September. So hopefully it comes out. So let's see what other topics can we talk about? So we've talked about Sweet Baby Inc. a little bit. We've talked about Matt Mercer's. I feel depressed video. Thank you, Flint, and good to see you again. Thanks for dropping in and leaving your congratulations. And hey, if you have any topics you want to talk about, this is like an open mic night today. Plus, I think we're close to, let's see, well, not quite close, but Vicarious is in his second month of membership. So, and then we have, so that's like the equivalent of, $5 there plus 2, 7. So we have about $12 raised towards the $25 mark, hopefully. And we'll do at least one giveaway. Matt's nervous breakdown. Yeah, it was, I mean, it was so, he's an actor, right? So he's sitting there and he's, boo-hooing, and he has like a blanket wrapped around his shoulders and everything. It was very, very bizarre, to be honest. And if he's legitimately having a bout with depression, I feel bad for him. I hope he gets over it, but the reasoning behind it is, I'm just laughing at. Yes, I certainly misspoke, or yeah. It's just the reasoning behind his, supposed, depression, is just something so disconnected from what anybody should really, be so depressed about, like actually depressed about. It's like, geez, like shitty things happen all over the world all the time. It's like you're going to take this one event and be like, oh, this is a big deal. Far worse things going on in the world that they're not even going to notice. So don't give me that. He doesn't have a masculine bone in his body. Yeah. Yeah, not with pink nail polish on, that's for sure. So publishing ONB, he must have generational ideas. Let's see. Of Chopper Read, hardest to fuck up. Yeah. It's like that's the thing. It's like when I don't know whether it's just, because I mentioned, like, again, on the OGGMs thing, I mentioned that when I have people close to me pass away, or when bad things happen and everything, I wrote on his thing, I was like, I've never honestly felt depression, or at least I don't believe that I have, and even if I had, because I'm kind of such like a run down the middle kind of even keel kind of person, and that has a lot to do with the way that my father raised me, and military training, and seeing people, or having people pass away, or having people in my unit get killed in a car accident, which was the only 2 people in my unit that got killed, were killed in a, rolling over a Hummer, fucking around in the desert. And just the, when I was in high school, two classmates were killed, driving into a toll booth, at like 120 miles per hour, drunk out of their minds, and they, you know, both of them killed instantly, ramming into a toll booth. And, was just never that connected to any kind of an emotion. Like I said, it was something that I think my father kind of drilled into us, was that we just didn't respond to life and death that way. It was like, these are just things that happen, and so forth. And it, you know, before I went into the army, that was one of the things my father had told me. He was a World War II veteran, and he was like, you're going to see some stuff, and just be prepared to separate yourself from it and everything. And you might have to do some things, and just be able to disconnect, and not put too much humanity into it, and just kind of almost like a robot, just move through. And that's kind of how I look at stuff like that. So, again, even keel, I don't get overly emotional about things. Thank you very much, Flint. And just did a video about maps. I'd be interested to know what you think good map design looks like, engage players and drive immersion. Cool. I will definitely check that out and see. You're free to put the link to your YouTube channel, to that video right there in the, right there in my chat, and I will highlight it and spread it out and encourage everybody to go take a look at it. Plus, go look at your channel as well. So, yeah, definitely do that. Definitely put that up there. Depressed over Gaza, China much. Yeah, I mean, there's no way. I mean, I have a pretty dark humor too. I mean, most people that were in the military have a dark humor. So when you have the hair drop and it didn't come down with the chute, or the chute malfunctioned, or whatever, it was like, Jesus. I was like, there goes 5 lawsuits that they're going to probably give those families like $10 million a piece, for looking to drop something, to the airdrop supplies to them. So I was like, yeah, I guarantee you, they're going to hand out $25 million in compensation for that. No, he's up in Maine. Are they really attacking him? I don't think his own people are attacking him. Let's see. Let's see. Dice Tales. Clinical depression is a horrible thing. Sad events are part of a very different. Yeah, you know what? Like I said, I don't know one way or the other, which it is. Dice Tales. I don't know what clinical depression actually means, or how I just don't think that I have suffered it, or am even capable of suffering it, because it's just not the way that I'm emotionally built. I find this lack of toughness disturbing. Yeah, it's like, it's I guess everyone handles stress differently, and I think it's definitely a generational thing too, because there's there just seems to be more people coming out and saying that they're, bipolar, or they're suffering from PTSD. And I'm not just talking about military people that say that they have PTSD, but it's like when I served in 90, 90 to 98, um, we didn't have the same kind of numbers of this. And, not to give a comparison to, like Iraq Iraq in 90 and Iraq in, 2003, two very, very different experiences. I understand that. But I think that there was a big difference in American society from 90 to 2003 also. And almost a different generation, actually. And so it's I just think that collectively we're making the society much softer than it was. And that's not a good thing, because not to have that emotional toughness um, that Gen X had is something that I think millennials and whatever the hell they're calling the new generation. I think somebody mentioned it's not even Gen Z anymore. There's something Gen Alpha, which is totally should call it Gen Beta. But yeah, just I don't get it. I was clinically depressed for the entire second half of my career. I didn't cry about it. I just finished my time and retired. Yeah, well, it's something that we can talk about privately, because I don't know the difference and I don't even know what that means. Um, I mean, if that means that you're just going to, a psychiatrist or a psychologist and they say that you're clinically depressed, I don't know what that actually means. Um, but I'd love to have a private conversation with anybody, um, so they can set me straight. Yeah, if you need medication to get yourself right again, then that's something I hope people do. Yeah. I mean, it's like people in first responders and everything, and military people and stuff. We tend to have a very, very dark sense of humor, and that's a coping mechanism. Sure, that's how we get through it. Um, Plus we go into it knowing that that's a probable thing that we're going to face. So again, I think we're trained. We're trained to be able to, you know, walk through that stuff. He's, yeah, that's how he looked like. Too. He looked like he was being held hostage. Um, it was too showy. It was like if you're going to, if you're going to, number one, why you would do that online is another thing completely. Um, you know, that's not the kind of thing that you would, what's the point in doing that? I don't get. Um, and then from what I understand, some people did criticize him, and they criticized him not because he got out there and he said, it was for the reason that he said that's why they started criticizing him. You know, it's like it was like he was making a political point while doing it, which is I think the problem. And I hear that, I hear this, people saying this, that they're, they swing from very high to very low, and back and forth, and you know, again, maybe I've been lucky that I don't, I don't get into those kind of swings. I'm so even keel, and maybe that's an issue too. But I just don't. Um, I don't sense that in myself. So, and maybe, maybe I'm fortunate for that. Um, then again, maybe I'm so disconnected that that's an issue. But it is what it is, and like I said, I don't doubt that. I don't say that because Matt Mercer is, he's well known, he's popular, he's a millionaire, he's got what appears to be, a great job that he enjoys doing and everything, and therefore he cannot be depressed. Um, you know, sure, you can seemingly have everything that you want and still be depressed. Um, what I'm saying is that it just came off as weird and almost contrived to me, that that video, and it's strange to me that that's how you would express it. And then to go on and say, and this is all over Gaza, instead of something that's a little bit more tangible, I guess, is what I mentioned about it. Yes, and that's the kind of light humor that that we get to, or dark humor that we get to. There was that other one, that this guy, I think he's an Air Force guy, and he's talking about how important it is for pronouns. What's the and everybody in the comments say, I wouldn't follow this guy into a freaking mess hall, let alone into a combat zone. I mean, it's just I don't know how they can keep a straight face when you're talking to these to these things. How that's been accepted into the military is beyond me. But I'm a totally different generation. Um, yes, it's a disgrace. It absolutely is. I don't know how they can. I don't know how they can. They could have allowed that to become. One thing you never hear them mention anymore. I haven't heard them use this expression in the longest time, probably more than 10 years. Esprit de corps. We used to talk about esprit de corps. We used to hear it all the time. It used to be drilled into us. Esprit de corps. You don't hear any of the top brass. You don't hear the Joint Chiefs of Staff. You don't hear the president. You don't hear anyone ever mention esprit de corps anymore. Just totally gone from their lexicon, from their motivation, driving that motivation forward. Esprit de corps is dead in all of the, you know, possibly it's still in the Marines, but it's gone everywhere else. And it's something we need a new president that will bring that whole concept back. Um, I don't even think any of the current pool of potential presidents even has heard that term used. So that's something that is just gone. So let's see. As first responders who get real money to hear what they say to each other. That old guy like me up on the floor. I fall asleep. Yes, she did not. She did not buckle down. But the thing about her is that she was a cancel culturist before, before that anyway. I mean, so it's basically them trying to eat their own. She's just too freaking rich to care. Um, but she's a piece of shit too. Um, she's just too powerful, or she has the what you call fuck you money when they try to shut her down. All right, let's see. Yeah, toxic masculinity in the military. Yeah, it should just be masculinity in the military. You shouldn't accept any guy that isn't acting like a guy in the military. I don't know. No, she was definitely a someone who was looking to cancel anyone that was against her the third wave feminism and that kind of thing. um it's just that she herself is such a feminist that she wasn't going to allow for men to push into that domain just because they claim to be a female or a woman. And so but no, she was a cancel culturist beforehand herself. See how fast everyone loves their toxic military when the toxic enemy shows up. No, they'll turn against them, just as quickly. They'll go right back to turning against them. Um, no, he is Grim Jim is number one. He is a Marxist. He's a leftist. He's a classic libertarian though, and so he takes those three things and somehow and that's because there's a difference in the definition of the left in there's a difference in the left in Europe as it is to here. All right. And they're you know he's not truly a libertarian in the way that we would say someone is a libertarian, but he does have a strong freedom of speech foundation, but he doesn't in any way um, see that other freedoms that we have is supportive of that. Like he is absolutely against the Second Amendment, and it's his Marxism that makes him anti-Second Amendment. So that's what I'm talking about, is that that's where it comes from. Oh, I got to take this call. I will be back in 2 seconds. And uh, and I don't know why it didn't ring. I don't know why the cell phone didn't ring. It's on. I know. I know. So anyway, I'm YouTubing. So, okay, sorry about that. So, my wife and my daughters are away this weekend. They're doing some bridesmaids dress shopping, and she's checking on the dog. That's all she cares about is the dog. So I was like, all right, it's okay. Um, all right, so let's get back onto RPGs. And thank you for the Uriah. Thank you for the super chat. Um, thanks so much. And we are really getting close to that first giveaway, so I will be doing that in any moment. Um, and he's gone. Who's gone? Uh, okay. L, whatever. Um, let's see. Getting back to RPGs, what's your favorite edition of Call of Cthulhu? Yours is sixth right now. So I only have. I'm running the second edition, which they call the classic edition. And then I do have seventh edition, and I think I have some of I think I have third edition. So second edition is the one that I got, that I got into first. So that would have been around 83. And so that's my favorite edition right now. And that's the one that I'm looking to run. But like I said, I do have seventh edition. Um, haven't run that yet. Second edition does what I need it to do, and my players, even though we only did one session and everything, they were really psyched for it, because it is a very, very simple system, and they just into it. Yeah, let's see. Um, yeah, but they're not pro gun for anybody but the government having them. They're not pro gun for them having it. Let's see. All right, let's see. Let's see. The whole lot of difference in editions. First edition did not allow you to recover from sanity loss, which was cool. Yeah, second edition does. So, but you don't recover a whole lot. And again, it's not. I don't know why we didn't play first edition, or we went right from we didn't discover it, I guess, until like 83, until second edition. Yeah, that's exactly it. She was I had to do so many things with the dog today, that she's usually doing, and the dog is so into routines and everything. So yeah, my wife has been worrying about the dog all day. So but it is, yeah, she definitely checks on she called about the dog twice already today, or three times already today. Yeah, everybody has the same thing. I saw this video. Um, I have to see what Arkham Horror is first. I guess it's a video game, so I'll have to check it out, and see. Um, anyway, I was going to say I saw this video of this guy, and he gets his either wife or his girlfriend this little puppy dog, and she absolutely melted. And I was like, why the hell would you have done that to your relationship? You just replaced yourself with a dog that fit in the palm of her hand. And I was like, you're done. You're second rate, for the rest of the time. Uh, and now my wife is texting me to don't forget daylight savings. All right, so we changed the clock. It is spring forward, so we're going to lose an hour. 2 a.m. will become 3 a.m. So yes, daylight savings in the United States. I don't think people in Europe do that. Yeah, I got to check that. I have one kind of like a pulp game that's um, it's that adventures, amazing adventures from Troll Lord. That's supposed to be like a very generic pulp kind of game system. I have to really start digging back into that and starting to look at that again, Decado. So yeah, I totally fell off my radar until I saw pulp on yours. So definitely check it out. Who the hell is making smart? I think. Okay, second is my favorite Shadows of Yogg-Sothoth for the best supplements ever that came out of my time. Yeah. Um, Let me check to see. So we have 2, 7. I'm going to say that's 13, 18, 20. We're very, very close to one giveaway. So very close to a giveaway. Um, Arizona doesn't do it. Oh, Arizona doesn't change their time zone? They were supposed to get rid of it. Uh yes, Discworld. Now I'm trying to remember if I ever read those books back in the 80s, and I'm not I remember, was it Larry Niven did River World, right? Or something like, or Ring World. Um and that was a pretty cool book. I read that book. I think it was Ring World is Larry Niven. I'd have to look it up. Discworld, I don't recall. Um, but yes, Modifius, I think, is making it. If not them, it's probably Modifius is making Discworld. The OGGM Neil, the Arkham Horror thing. Okay. Um, nailed not yeah. The OGGM nailed the Arkham Horror thing. Okay. Yeah, I didn't. Ringworld is Larry Niven. I read that. I'm not familiar with Discworld. Yeah, cool. The white box, which is right behind me there, is that's a really cool set. It really is. They give you everything. That's the perfect kind of package to bring to a convention and run at a convention. Um, comes with an adventure, comes with pre-gen characters. It comes with everything you really need, plus the things to use to make characters at the table if you wish to. Okay, and that definitely put us over the top. Riverworld was All right, Philip Farmer. What was the Ringworld was Riverworld was Farmer, which I read. Ringworld. You see, this is what happens when you get to 57 years old and you're trying to remember books that you read when you were 13. So it's or it was also Chaosium, and also later a Chaosium game. Ringworld was a Chaosium game. Um, you got me thinking now that I got to check some stuff out. Yeah, that's right. Riverworld was Philip J. Farmer, Philip Jose Farmer. Um, hey, you know what? We're gonna do the first the first of two giveaways. So let's see. I have to bring up Google. Um, do, 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 do. I'm working on getting the giveaway link going. I think we're doing this. Um, why didn't that work? Oh, this is the one. I grabbed the wrong one. I'm just getting ready for the thing. And why isn't this working like it did the last time? I'm still working on it, sorry. Let's get back to here. I will do a I got Amazing Adventures on the monster book, still looking for the compendium book to complete the core rule set. Oh, so there's a separate monster book for that? I'll have to. I picked it up in. I did pick up the 5e version too. I won't touch 5e. Sorry, not even from them. So let me see if I can. Oh, that's where I have to do it. Okay, so let's copy link. Okay. Um, I'm having trouble finding the. Let's try StreamYard comment picker. I did this last month and it worked fine. Oh, here we go. Now I got it. Okay, this is it. All right, everyone that is currently in the chat, just do a hashtag pick me. So you are just going to do hashtag and then pick me, and that's it. So everyone that wants to be in the giveaway, hashtag pick me is all that you need to do, and then we can do this. So let me share. So hashtag, I'll let this go for about 5 minutes. So make sure you all get your chance to do a hashtag pick me, and you will have your shot. You will have the choice. If you win, you will either be able to get a copy of Mifrog 3.0, 3.5, all three Creatures of Thule 1, 2, and 3. A copy of, now these are all your choice. You can also get a copy of Zebulon's Guide. This is the reprint and perfect condition. Or you can get, yeah, those will be at the $25 mark. If we go to the next level, I will give out a second one of those plus the next level of, of giveaway, and that will be Star Wars. This is first edition WEG hardcover. Ended up getting 2 of those somehow. And then if we go even higher than that, then I will be giving away, along with all of the other things, I'll be giving away both of these in one package. So I have an extra copy of the Master Wolf by Rose Estes. This is Greyhawk Adventures book number 3, and Bard number 4 from Keith Taylor. So that's like the full scope of it. So once you do your pick me, here I was watching for a Pirates movie. All right, so here we go. I am here. Was watching a Pirates movie. Good. Just type in pick me and hashtag pick me, and that's what I'll be looking for in a few minutes. Let's see. I will do the drawing at 1 hour and 45 minutes. So another 4 minutes. You have another 4 minutes to get your pick me in there, and then I will let it roll. I'll do the giveaway tool, and forgot. Do you want to be in a giveaway? Then repeat the hashtag. So yeah, just type hashtag pick me, just like others have done, and then you'll be in that drawing. All right. I watched Captain Blood earlier today. Love that movie. I am a big fan of all of his movies, Errol Flynn's pirate movies. So you have to try to get, let's see, what do I have? Oh no. Do I have all of his movies there? I might have moved them. Against All Sales is another awesome Errol Flynn movie. Against All Sales, I have Captain Blood. Captain Blood, by far my favorite of those. So actually, we'll put that up there. Yes, and I have his books. I have his books on it too. Gosh, you're taking me back. That was like a big thing for me. I got into the Horatio Hornblower videos, and got that whole mini series. So many good ones out there. But yeah, Captain Blood was definitely one of my big inspirations. Kind of where I got my name, right? That's where Bloodworth sort of comes from too. Is Bloodworth, Captain Bloodworth was a character that I created for High Seas Trader. So that was the first video game that, I learned about that before Sid Meier's Pirates. But High Seas Trader was the first time that I used the name Bloodworth, spelt the way that it's spelt as well. So yeah, that's where Bloodworth comes from. It came from, I had a character in that I was playing in James Bond, the RPG in the 80s, and his name was Edward Hollingsworth. So he was British. I forget if he was he was a 005, I think, was his number when I was playing that. And then I started getting into the pirate gaming and stuff like that. And that's when I took Blood, and then I took Worth and stuck them together. And that's how I ended up with Edward James Bloodworth. Was I wanted two kings and Bloodworth attached to it, and that was my character in High Seas Trader. Yeah, that's still a cool game. I still have it on Steam, and I was actually playing that a couple of weeks ago. Even did a video on it, I think, and put it up there. But yeah, that's a lot of fun. So someone stole Captain Blood and merged with Mr. Bosworth and wrote a book about Bloodworth. Yeah. Yeah, that's well, Bloodworth is an actual real name. That's a real Scottish name, but I always spelt it with the Bludd Worth, just to make it a little different. And then that became my internet persona for almost three decades now. Just a little over 20. It'll be 3 decades in 26. All right, I'm going to do the drawing. So let's see. I have everyone's there. Let's see, presentation, share screen, giveaway, share. All right, here we go. And there's 11 entries. So we are going to draw. Flint Fireforge. All right, Flint. So the way that we will work this, Flint, is I am going to put my email address in the I will put my email address in the link here, so you can just get my email and then email me, and then we will chat and see which one you actually want. So unless you want to tell me right now, but here is the email address. All right, so it is so that is my email address, bloodwolf@gmail.com. Bloodwolf, of course, is my derivative from Bloodworth, and that was my character in Eve Online. So as you can see, I keep on repeating these things over and over again. But congratulations, Flint, and looking forward to sending this stuff out to you. So again, your choices. I can stop the share right now. So your choices are going to be in reverse order: Zebulon's Guide to Frontier Space, all three, or all three Creatures of Thule, 1, 2, and 3. Either Mifrog, this is 3.5, 3.0. 3.5 is the differences between the two is that there's some errata changes in 3.5, and I believe he changed some of the background of the Cataclysm in 3.5, and then he certainly changed it in 4.0. And as a matter of fact, not to make a big deal about it, but it was a conversation that I had with Varg on Twitter, back in that time, that I was like, this whole thing doesn't make too much sense. I thought it could have gone in a much different direction in the lore of the game, and I've always felt that 2.7 was a far better lore of the game. You'll take Zebulon? All right, cool. All right, so that I will. So when you email me, just send me your mailing address, and then I will get this out to you probably no later than Monday. So yeah, just get that to me, and I will have this mailed out by Monday, and you should get it, fairly quickly, probably like a week and a half, probably not even more than that. So congratulations. So let's see, let's get back to our chat. So If Ginny D had a fish head instead of her normal big head, what? I missed the whole thing about Ginny D now. Um, are you watching the Ginny D mermaid vid? Like I said, she just came up today in Twitter in my feed. Where someone that I follow, he was like, "Hey, I've been banned by her, and I've never had any contact with her whatsoever." And I was like, "Because she block bans, that's what she does." And we got into that whole, thing about that. So it was pretty funny. Um, and I was like, "Yeah." I mean, she banned me because she put out some kind of a video or some kind of a tweet, and I responded with, my table's open for everyone. If you're coming to my table and you're going to sit down and you're just there to play the game, then you're welcome to play. And she banned me because it wasn't a um it wasn't an affirmation of what she wanted to be said. Was like, oh yeah, you should allow someone who's at your table that's completely disrupting what you're looking to do. It's like you're not allowed to do anything other than just accept that someone's going to come to your table for the purpose of changing your table. And yeah, I'm like, no, that's not why you come to it's not why you come to my table. You come to my table to play the game that I'm looking to run. And I mean, after a couple weeks, if you have a suggestion that you want to make, you're welcome to do so. I don't shut down anything. I've actually changed and homebrewed rules in response to my players at the table. But that was once there were established players at my table. They weren't people that approached my table for the first time, and handed me this is a social contract, that you're going to change your table to meet mine. Hell no, I won't accept that. You come to my table with a consenting gaming form, you might as well just turn around and walk away. You come to my table and say, I'm looking to see myself represented in your world. How am I going to see myself represented in your world? I was like, as somebody who gets, one of those Monty Python, 15-ton bricks dropped on top of them in the first 5 minutes of the game session. It's like, no, I'm not going to let you sit at my table, because you're not here to play the game. You're here to do something else. And so that's why I'm a big advocate of gatekeeping, a big advocate of gatekeeping for the purpose of your safety at your own table. All right. I want my table to be a safe place for myself and my players that are looking to play the game. Let's see. The OGGM and DD tried to claim I cloud chase. DD said I was a Ginny D bot. How the hell do I cloud chase? I have nothing to gain or lose on YouTube. Yeah. I don't know what people talking about cloud chasing, maybe that's something else we could talk about tonight is, cloud chasing is something else that people are, going back and forth and kind of like in our circle, it's like, oh, you're mentioning this person to cloud chase. It's like, it's, sometimes a video will blow up because you put out something there that you still honestly believe. And so if it does, that's not cloud chasing. That's just putting out something that you believe in. It's like, if you're, cloud chasing to me is when you're trying to when you're trying to agree with somebody in a disingenuous way, because you're trying to glom on to their, you know, glom onto them, and get some of their crowd to agree with you. I've never There's no such thing as clout chasing, at least in my view, when you're attacking somebody. You're not going to gain a whole bunch of followers from their channel because you go on their channel and ridicule them. It's like I didn't gain any subs when Jenny D blocked me. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's not yeah, glomming is like attaching yourself to someone to get their, yeah, to get their attention, or to get the attention that they have to come on to you. um yeah, no, she didn't have all right, let's see. So anyway, yes, that's what glom means, L. um to grab a hold of. Yes. So anywho, so to grab a hold of, and let's see, someone's crying. A beer. All right. Cheers. Man of war. All right, and we are on. All right, I guess that's the thumbs up to what it means. All right. So yeah, so we just had a little round of Ginny D. I hope that's not clout chasing to get all those Ginny D fans coming on to my channel. Um, hey, thumbs down works just as well as thumbs up as far as the algorithm is concerned. So uh it's probably better. Uh it's possible, I guess. I don't know. And so um let's get back to, we're coming up on the 2 hour mark as well. So I want to just do a quick overview of what we've covered tonight. So we have talked about a wide ranging of topics, which I was, hopefully looking to get a hold of. So that was our open community topic. So you have provided me some topics of talking about Matt Mercer and his wrapped up in a blanket and his whole thing. We talked about Sweet Baby Inc. Not so much. I guess many of us are not too tied into the video game kind of thing, but I think they're more so an issue with video games. But yeah, it's good to see that they're getting so much pushback, and it would be nice for companies to realize that these consulting firms are just they're just grifters. They're trying to play that protection money game with you. And the best way to stop them is to just say, like Elon Musk said. And I mean, sure, he has "fuck you" money, but the "go fuck yourself" line that Elon Musk said, and then he directed it directly at Bob Iger sitting in the thing. But go fuck yourself. I mean, that's what they have to say. Is hey, you do whatever you want to do. You're going to go on Twitter and say, oh, this company is, they're fascist, they're, homophobic, they're misogynist, or whatever. Those people aren't buying their games anyway. All right. Their crowd, the people that follow them and pay attention to them, do not buy games. And why these companies don't realize that these people just don't buy their games, so just ignore them. It's the best thing you can do is just ignore them. I mean, Bud Light lost like $20 billion from that ad campaign. That was like, it's just stupid. It's just stupid that Disney destroying itself, destroying its stock value for that kind of, trying to cater to that crowd. Um, it's ridiculous. It's just like you're going to waste billions, tens of billions, hundreds of billions. I think Disney lost something like $130 billion in 3 years. I mean, it's just phenomenal. It's like how much how much they're willing to throw away to cater to people that don't buy their shit. Just doesn't make any sense to me. Oh, let's see. Yes, the chat is always unchained. So I can always expect it to be, unplanned for. That's the unscripted part, and unchained. So, yes, sometimes chat does get off the hook, and that's fine. That's the kind of thing that I like to run into. Um, Bloodworth needs to do a video on Ben Milton's Six Cultures of Role Players. Hey, I'll check it out. Like I said, I follow so many different channels, like something like 260 some odd channels. I just don't get around to all of them. But I'll double check that and see there's Cultures of Role Players. So I will check it out. Sorry, I was clickbaited. It was a false title. Well, Weasels of the Caucasus, top main client for SO. Yeah, it probably is. It probably is their one of the sensitivity readers that they use. Yep, I will definitely check it out, L. As a matter of fact, I will queue that up as soon as I log out and take a look at it. Listen, I backed Nave too, so I'm waiting to see when I get that and everything like that. I like game systems that give you a whole bunch of randomized tables and everything that I can use in other game systems. So that's why I back that. And he's pretty even keeled too. I think that he tries to run that, he tries to run kind of down the middle on stuff like that. He is certainly not this is Questing Beast. He's not a sycophant for Wizards of the Coast. He's not an apologist for some of the stuff that they've done. And he certainly had to push his own products as well. But there's so I follow his stuff. I don't mind him. I like Professor Dungeon Master as well. I think that he's pretty even keeled. He's not he's not in the club that you'll see on like the new YouTube channel thing that where they're promoting different content creators on YouTube, and it's basically everybody that's well, no, I shouldn't say everybody that's a 5e sycophant, but the only people that they didn't show or they did show that aren't 5e sycophants, they're picked for other reasons. You can check out like Shauner's video to see what I'm talking about because he brought that up as well. Let's see. Have you seen Basic Expert's clone of chainmail? It's called White Box. No, I haven't. To be honest with you, I've tried to have interactions with Basic Expert, and he kind of ignores. He either ignores me or he doesn't really respond to anything that I put up on there, and I kind of lost interest in following some of his stuff. So you know, I don't think he has me shadow banned or anything like that or blocked on his channels. It's just that, I get no interaction with him when I have gone to his, his YouTube channel or his Twitter or whatever. So, um, like I said, I follow so many. I was looking at his cow punchers, though. That was something that I was interested in. I wasn't so much interested in his machoodle, or however you pronounce that. But I was looking at cow punchers because I really don't have that many Wild West kind of game systems. So I might still take a look at that. But if it gets back to him, I don't know if we have any kind of an issue. I just don't think that, you know, I just don't think that he has responded to me in any time that I've ever asked questions or made comments or anything like that. So let's see. Good for the Basic Expert. He's a stand-up guy. Well, yeah. So I wouldn't mind talking with him. I just, like I said, I don't think he really has ever responded to me in anything that I've mentioned or talked about. Yeah, I guess it's possible. Um, yeah, definitely, it's definitely possible. And like I said, I follow so many different channels that it takes me a long time just to get around to looking at some of them again. Um, and he, quite frankly, kind of fell off my radar for, probably about 2 months or so. Okay, and let's see. I'm curious to see how his white box compares to the old edition of from Greyhawk. Hmm. I'll check it out. Again, I'm more likely to pick up cow punchers than anything that is D&D. Um, so uh, I looked up Tornado after the book. Many things explains why they added fidget spinners to D&D. Yeah, Tandro is he's very self-absorbed, and he's very he thinks that he's going to produce a better a better product than the people that created Dungeons and Dragons, and it's you know I don't his only other experience was Paizo. So that goes to show you where they're coming from. Um, well, thanks a lot, Uriah, and I will certainly I will take that super chat and put it directly towards checking out cow punchers. All right, so that's how I will repay your generosity, is to check it out. So I appreciate that. And let's see, I quote tweeted a tweet to you, DM. You quote tweeted a tweet to you, DM Bloodworth. Interesting. Um, if quote tweeted a tweet, I don't get that. I'm I'm running kind of empty. I need coffee soon. Uh, so let's see. Jason Turner looks like the bad guy in the Jesus Christ. Meatballs. When did that come out? Like 87? I totally forgot about that whole series. So definitely have to check that out past my bedtime, heading to bed. Well, thank you, Flint. And congratulations. Um, if you have already sent me the email, I'll get that thing out to you real soon. But thanks for joining, and look forward to. You should see that within a week. It should come out fairly quickly. Oh, come on, man, turn that on. What's the right pick? Yeah. All right. They wanted to get an older guy on there just to attack the older guys from there. So that's something that I think that they felt safe on. That shit-eating grin on Todd Kendrick was really what just burnt me. Was as soon as I saw that smile on his face, that smug look on his face, and then he goes, "Hey, what about this wouldn't pass our sensitivity readers, today." It was like, why? Why did you need to do that? And that's what really burnt me. Was I was like, they can never mention Gary Gygax's name without attacking. And they can't talk about old school D&D without attacking, and then for clowns like J. Scott Garibay, I'll throw the name out there, to come out and be like, oh, they carry the legacy of, they don't carry the legacy of shit. All right. That they don't even carry the legacy of their own game systems that they've done. All right. Nothing before 2014 is canon. Never mention any of the individuals that that brought D&D into the 5e realm. So they don't mention anyone from 3.0, 3.5, 4.0. I mean, they don't mention any of those individuals. They're all just cutting them all off, and then their new edition coming out and it's a new edition, because if it's 5e and it's just an expansion of 5e, then the lead designer of it should still be Mike Merles. All right, but it's not going to be. It's going to be whomever they're going to put, or the staff of Wizards of the Coast, so that they don't have to put any one name on it. And this is they are not a company that cares about their legacy, that cares about the founding of their entire IP. And so to put shit books out there that are overpriced to hell. I mean, $100 for a book, please. And they're putting out material that people have had access to for decades, for years at least. And you can get various versions of White Box out there that that are virtually 90% the same as the original. Go to the OSR, you can get one for $6. You don't have to pay $100 to get copies of that stuff. So anyway, so we are going to be wrapping this up. I want to thank everyone who has contributed to the to the channel here tonight. And let's just make sure that we didn't hit the other benchmark. So 2, 3, 4. You know what? I am going to, yeah, I'm going to hold off, and I'm going to do another giveaway very, very soon once we get to 3333. All right. So, which is actually not too far off. So probably get there in about 2 months. But thank you everyone for joining. Really enjoyed the chat. Um, quite frankly, I haven't laughed this much in, during the last 2 weeks. So I had a really great stream for me. I hope it was great for you all. Thanks for everyone for popping in. And yeah, I know it's a 500-page book, but you can get more history from the D&D reading the 500-page court document from Gygax for free. Exactly. I mean, they even have the rules. It's coming out. Troll Lord Games. All right, and I'm supposed to meet up with them sometime next week. Troll Lord Games is also going to get access to those same documents because they're coming out of the Gary Gygax estate. So everything that that Wizards of the Coast is putting into that $100 overpriced book is coming out of the Gary Gygax estate, and they're going to, it's the same damn documents. All right. On top of that, there's even more stuff coming out because I just talked to Griffith from the Secrets of Blackmore, and there's Dave Arneson stuff coming out of Dave Arneson's estate that are the same documents as well. It's like Wizards of the Coast isn't the only one that owns those documents. Those documents are coming out of the two estates as well. And they don't have the rights to those documents. Sure, they can print those documents out because they're part of public record. So you don't have to pay $100 to get it from Wizards of the Coast. You'll probably get it for a hell of a lot cheaper coming out of either Troll Lord Games or out of the Secrets of Blackmore. So so be on the lookout for different sources of the same damn materials you're gonna get, and they're not going to be presented with freaking disclaimers, of, oh well, we're going to put this out there, as written, but just be aware that we're much better than this. So it's it's going to be an interesting time when we start to see the real legacies of these phenomenal creators. Both Arneson and Gygax in the next year or so. They can't sue. These are court documents, as you mentioned. They can't sue for anything other than the manuscripts. They cannot sue for those things because the stuff that's coming out of the Gary Gygax estate were not TSR products. And they can't sue for the Arneson stuff because, again, not TSR products. So that they won't be able to do a thing about any of those other products coming out, other than the manuscripts. Yeah, and I looked at Tannisburg, and I looked at that too, and it's I didn't really bring it up with him, and I could have. I certainly, I wasn't even thinking about it so much because it wasn't that much of a disclaimer. But I'll talk about that some other time, Cal. I will bring that up when because I haven't even started actually reviewing Thomas Borg yet. But when I do, I'll certainly bring it up. He's not a cancer culturist. He's certainly more left than I am, but I don't get the sense that he's more like a traditional yeah, I don't know. That's not, who has he tried to cancel? To use your own measure, who did he try to get kicked off the internet? He tried to get pundit to ban me or over the Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum being for sale. Said we should never come on Pundit Show if I wasn't banned. Don't know. Don't know. I haven't been on Pundit Show in a while. I even looked at it for quite some time. Again, I follow so many that it just takes me time to circle back around to others. But I haven't seen his stuff in a while. Well, you're not banned here. So that's all I care about, right? You're not banned on my channel. So you're welcome to come in, and you gave me some great laughs tonight. So I appreciate that. He's old-fashioned left. Yeah, that's how I look at him. He's old-fashioned left. He's left like pre-Kennedy kind of left. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to leave it here before it becomes unhinged again. So we don't need the chat to become unchained in the last moments of it. So hey, I want to thank everybody for dropping in. And as always, I look forward to seeing you on a gaming screen sometime soon. And, I will be back to, I'll probably have time tomorrow to jump in on Legion of Myth tomorrow afternoon, see what's going on with him. Been a couple weeks since I've popped in there as well, see what they're working on. Probably something Palladium. Unless they're doing, let's see, all right, inappropriate characters tomorrow night for Dragon Slayer guy. All right, maybe I'll check that too. I'll see. My wife and kids are coming home tomorrow afternoonish, so I'll see what we're in the mood to do and see. Yes, plan to be there. I like Greg. Yeah, I just couldn't. I almost wish I backed his thing. I want to see if he's gonna go after that other company that came out with a Dragon Slayer RPG. I mean, literally within the last month, someone else came out with a Dragon Slayer RPG. So that'll be interesting to see how much, what he's going to do about that. That's certainly a question I'll put out there. So how could somebody come out with an RPG named exactly the same thing? So anyway, thanks everyone. Have a great night. I've already said goodnight 3 times already. So thanks everyone. Have a great night, and looking forward to seeing you on the screen sometime.